What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and this is the first video for 2022's Blazing Toku Moviethon. It is back again, and I'm excited. I kind of left out a few rules when I announced it when I did the initial, opening video. Um, and if you want to go see what I kind of said last time in my first video when I, you know, started this all back from 2021, you can go ahead and do that. But, the simple rule is the movies have to be movie length. So I'm not going to be covering half an hour long movies. Because what's the point? Also, why is it called the movie if it's not movie length? Like seriously, those Sentai movies, why are they just like, oh, they're like 20 minutes? Even that Saber movie that came out a couple years ago was only like 22 minutes or something like that, like 30, where it's like, oh, cool, it's 8 minutes longer than a standard episode. But that's not a movie. And that doesn't really follow what I want to do here. But that's pretty much all I pretty much left out last time. I don't know exactly where I'm going with that. But we're going to be talking about Terror of MechaGodzilla this time around. And this movie pretty much picks up right where it left off, of just Godzilla destroyed MechaGodzilla, and it's like a year later or something. Oh yeah, I'm getting into spoilers because this movie is from 1975. I feel like you had the time to watch Terror of MechaGodzilla. If you're just like, oh, how could you tell me I see boobies in this movie? You can't do that. It's like, you had over, what, 20, almost, maybe 50 years? Almost, at least 40 plus, to watch this movie. That's not my fault. And it was really interesting because no characters from the last movie come back. They're just gone. And honestly, that's the sad part I can say. It's like where I thought some of the story was interesting, it's just there wasn't really a lot there. It's just almost as if somebody said, I have a movie about Titanosaurus. Do you want to throw Godzilla stuff into it? And they're like, yeah, we'll make it a sequel to Mecha Godzilla because he'll just be there. Like, Titanosaurus is the monster we saw the most in this movie. Like, there was one moment where Godzilla showed up, but really didn't do anything to Titanosaurus, and Titanosaurus got hit by, like, sonic waves or whatever, and was like, oh, I'm out. I'm out. And I guess to talk about Titanosaurus' design real quick, because that's the only real new monster suit in this one, because if there is a difference between like Godzilla against Mechagodzilla versus Terror of Godzilla suits, if those two suits are different for Godzilla, I can't tell. Sorry, I'm not. I love Godzilla, but I'm not that. I'm not like, well, actually, it's such a Goji suit. You don't know, you scrub. I'm like, I don't know. Also, I watched the English dub of this movie. Some of the voices they give people in old 70s dubs are hilarious. Like, there was somebody who was like, yes, I am definitely human, and it was like one of the gorilla aliens from the Black Hole Planet 3 aliens. Was that what they were called? The gorilla alien guys, which they had updated their costumes because last time they were wearing silver tracksuits, but now they're wearing silver tracksuits with stupid helmets. Like, do you know the helmets from Taro? Like, they look like those helmets, but spray painted silver. Not exactly, but they look just as stupid. It's like, oh, we want nobody to take this film seriously. Make them look as stupid as possible. But yeah, no, so it was pretty much about this, like, professor. Like, okay, I say this every time when it comes to especially Showa era Godzilla movies. I can't remember the human characters' names to save my life, but like we pretty much follow this marine biologist dude. Wait, was he a marine biologist? He was some kind of biologist, and he's just kind of there. He just kind of gets thrown into the story, and he goes to find out about dinosaurs from like this like professor who was like, oh yeah, she thinks Titanosaurus is real, and then like everyone's like, oh, look at this chump thinks dinosaurs are real in our world where Godzilla exists. Why would dinosaurs be real? Come on, you're an idiot. It just baffled my mind that like that's where they're like, no, that can't happen. That one's not a real one. It's like, seriously, a nuke made Godzilla, and you can accept that. You can accept space aliens, because they do reference Ghidorah, Manda. Oh, there was one other. Rodan. So it's like, those other monsters exist. So even Rodan, who was a dinosaur, they were still just like, Titanosaurus can't be real. And like, and that was the whole thing. One of like the main like villain professor who had the most amazing fake mustache, where it was just, and he was just like, they tried to discredit me. They called me crazy. They made me do blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, but why? But why? Like, there's no reason. And yeah, no. And then we get to the, like, evil professor's daughter, who's a cyborg. And we gotta see her titties in this movie. Better than Shin's titties, but still not good. Because they were fake. Why am I clapping? I don't know. But yeah, if you're looking for a Godzilla movie with titties, you're not gonna find one, at least from what I've seen so far. Somebody's probably like, but this one! I don't know that one, and why am I going on this rant about Godzilla boobs in Godzilla movies? But it's happening. And, like, yeah, so, something, we don't even, okay, wait, we do see what happens to her that made her a cyborg, because she was, like, looking at a computer, and she's like, beep, boop, 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 yep, Dad, I got the buttons. The thing blew up, and it's just like, oh no, she got injured. And then the aliens were like, hey, we fixed her for you. Now she's a cyborg. And he's just like, okay. And now she'll pilot Titanosaurus and Mecha Godzilla. In the movie, okay, I'm a little all over the place with this movie, but I'm just doing it as I remember it. And the movie just feels like it just ends. Like, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. Like, there's a couple submarines, and, like, they brought back the space titanium from the last movie, because, you know, when something's from space, it's way better than what we have down here. So it's space titanium. I also gotta say that was just something really funny, that, like, as soon as, like, they saw Godzilla was blown up and into the water, they're like, we better salvage that. We could use that. And, like, the aliens have already built him. Also, it's Mecha Godzilla 2, and if you look on his arm, he has, like, a blue M now, and he has a 2. Or was it a red M, and his 2 was blue? It's one or the other. But it's not Mecha Godzilla 2 from the Heisei films. It looks exactly like original Mecha Godzilla from the last movie. It is not this Heisei film. It's not confusing. But that's pretty much all it was just them trying to figure stuff out, and the aliens were just like, we're gonna take over Tokyo after we already lost our last robot. But we'll do it again! Like, Godzilla, at first I was really excited because it almost seemed like Godzilla was gonna be in a good chunk of this movie. Because it opens just with, like, a recap of the whole, like, last movie and everything, and I was like, oh shoot. But then we didn't see him. But we did get to see Titanosaurus. We saw Titanosaurus a lot. But like I said in the earlier fight, they don't even fight until the end. Like, there was just a fight where it's just like, Godzilla's like, I'm here, guys. I'm here to defend the city. And then Titanosaurus is like, oh shit, I'm out of here. Bye. And then the last fight, and you don't even see, even though it's called Terror of MechaGodzilla, MechaGodzilla's not there until the final fight. You get to see him a lot when he's in, like, the launch bay just being like, I am a robot. And it's just really weird. And, like, a lot of the human stuff is almost forgettable because it's pretty much the android girl just being like, no, don't go search for Titanosaurus. But he's like, oh, but we could make your dad real famous because you told me he was dead. Oh, but he's not dead. I lied to you. How can you believe? And then all of a sudden, like, he's just so confusing. Where it's like, honestly, this year I wanted to try to do more skits and everything, but there's just nothing really for me to work with outside of just describing what this movie did. Because it's so weird, but almost boring, but had some weirdly interesting plots of, like, the girl who is now a cyborg. It's like, is she human or is she dead to the world? Does she still have a conscience? Does she just want to murder the earth? And it's honestly a kind of interesting story, but, like, it really just kind of is just like, and then she kills herself. Oh, did I forget to tell you that's where we're going? Because she's, the whole ending bit, she was just, like, turned fully evil because she yeeted herself off a cliff. And she just falls off the cliff and they rebuild her and now she's perfectly like, now I am perfect cyborg. I am evil. I will shoot you. And like the guy who's like the main marine biologist guy is like, no, I obviously love you because reasons, even though we've really only had like one conversation that made me be like, oh shoot, you're hot. Like like there's really not much there. And like they're just fighting, and they did the sonic waves thing to start blowing up their computers because Titanosaurus can't handle it. But, like, apparently they built everything to control MechaGodzilla into her, and she was just, like, she finally broke free from, like, the programming and was just like, kill me! And all of a sudden he's like, no, I can't. She's like, alright, okay. Grabs the gun, shoots herself. Day is saved. Oh yeah, Godzilla decapitates MechaGodzilla again. That's his favorite move to him. Just rip it off. But, like, at least this time they were smart enough to put a little neck dome thing to start still shooting lasers and being able to walk around after that. They did improve from the last one, which was good. And it's such a weird movie. Where it's like, I don't know how to recommend this movie. It was just really weird. And like I said, it just ends. Like, right after that, Godzilla pretty much just destroys MechaGodzilla by throwing him into lava. I don't know. He just kind of throws him into, like, a crevice, and, like, Godzilla, does he spew his atomic breath? I don't even know, but he just explodes, and then Titanosaurus is just like, oh, shoot, and, like, Godzilla walks over there, punches Titanosaurus, and then he's just like, oh, no, and then backflips into the sea, and everyone's like, oh my god, they did it. And then they're chasing, like, the leader of the aliens. He's like, your bullets can't kill me. Jumps off a cliff. That's a trend in this movie. And it's just like, now I get away in my spaceships. And then Godzilla blows him up. Movie's over. Bye-bye. And, like, Godzilla goes into the sea. The dude's holding the dead cyborg girl and is just like, well, this is the end of the movie. And then it says the end. That was a real movie I watched. It's a real movie you can watch. If you liked the first one, I wouldn't say don't watch it. Like I said, there's some real interesting ideas. But it was almost kind of boring. Because there was very little of the monsters we saw outside of Titanosaurus just being like, I'm picking stuff up, or I'm underwater. And I don't know, I don't think Titanosaurus is that strong of a monster to hold a film. No offense to Titanosaurus, if you like him, good for you. Also, he sounds like Crocomire from Metroid. Coincidence? I think not. But that's a story for another day. And overall, I had my fun with it. And, like, I feel like it was holding my attention, but I was just like, I think I like the last one more. Maybe because there was a lot more, and you got to see the fake Godzilla, and it fought Anguirus and all of that. Like, I would say Godzilla versus MechaGodzilla, the first one, was better. But overall, I would say it's a fun time. And Titanosaurus' design, again, it's like, It's like a catfish mixed with a dinosaur. And not even like an interesting dinosaur. It's just, when you think just dinosaur. Like, no template, no nothing. It's just dinosaur. But if you're into the Showa stuff, I would recommend it. If it's something that looks just kind of boring to you, and or you just want to see some weird sci-fi stuff, yeah, I could recommend it. But it's not one of the strongest films. But I think that's pretty much it. What did you guys think? Did you guys watch this movie? What are your guys' thoughts? And what kind of movies would you guys want to see next? I about to say, Bellarok is about to come in here and tell you what the next movie is. But before he does, make sure you go see the movie. Leave your thoughts. What's your favorite MechaGodzilla movie? I don't know if I'm gonna cover any more this year, but which one's your favorite MechaGodzilla? Both, what's your favorite MechaGodzilla design? And what's your favorite MechaGodzilla movie? And I'm gonna say I will go the full range. Even you can go extended universe stuff. So if you really like that Ava looking MechaGodzilla from that one crossover, okay. I don't think it's that great, but it's okay. But I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So thank you so much for watching. Until whatever I do next. Take it away, Bellarok!
Next week's movie is Superhero Senki.